Welcome in everyone to another episode with your boys. It is my guy Thermnation. It is my guy B. It's your boy Pope. We are here today to do a mock draft right before your drafts at the end of this week. Hopefully, if you guys have a commissioner's worth of darn, it's the last week of the preseason just ended. Cut days already happening. Season starts next week. So we are getting directly into mock drafts. We got a little bit of a twist today that we're going to do. We're going to be showing you our mock drafts and how we would do these mock drafts for specific archetypes. Okay. So we have Therm. He's going to be doing a heavy wide receiver build. We have B. He's going to be picking some of the onesies, like your quarterback and tight end premiums, right? If you're in a tight end or quarterback premium league. And then I'm going to go running back heavy build and show you a little bit of what these rosters will kind of shake out to with these builds and let you guys kind of understand how that roster looks and play to your strengths of what you think could work out for you. Now, without further ado, gentlemen, how are we doing?
What's good, fellas? What's good?
Uh,
Fly, Eagles, fly.
uh, yeah, all of that chant song. Yeah, we got that. All right, we're gonna be neutral on this pod today because there may not be that
You
many
a
Eagles
fan?
drafted. There may be a lot of Eagles
You a
drafted.
fan?
You don't know until you see how the board shakes out. That's all we're going to do. Um, so yeah, I'm going to be selecting from the 9 spot. We got B selecting from that 12 turn, right? That last pick of the first round turn. Probably looking to make a lot of premium positions there. And then we got Big Therm. He's going to be at the front end of the draft, trying to get all the wide receivers possible. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into the draft.
If you wide
Therm, it is going to
receivers,
be
you got the
starting with
first pick.
you, my man. Therm's on the clock.
Man, they took Saquon. That's crazy. I'm gonna keep it simple. He's
Jamar
gonna have a
Chase.
good year. Not gonna be the best wide receiver in football again, but he'll have another good year.
Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, I actually like the way this shook out for me. I'm going running back heavy build. Derrick Henry went a little earlier than usual, right? I'm at the 9 spot, so can't get my hopes up with a Saquon falling or anything like that. But there's a particular guy that I'm going to put some faith in this year. He's a rookie, but he stands really to have as many touches as he would like in this offense. And I'm taking the boy. I'm taking Ashton Genty, baby. I like the way it is. I like the way it shakes out. I think that Oakland is going to, I mean, Oakland,
Taking
the
Chris'
Vegas
favorite player,
Raiders.
Puka.
Oh, we're going Puka early.
I'm
That's called an
taking.
anchor wide receiver, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen. So
taking my boy. And it's tough. It's tough. Jake.
okay, we got an anchor. We got an anchor there. Well, I told y'all this is going to be a running back heavy build, right? We're going all running backs all day long. I'm wearing the jersey. He's my guy this year. He's somebody that I think is going to absolutely cook. We're going with Bucky. We're going with Genty and Bucky, baby. Two 5'8" running backs that's going to get the job done. That's what I like to see.
Okay, so wide
Big
receivers
term.
started flying out of here real quickly. Got a quarterback that came out. I was looking at AJ Brown. I was hoping he would last, but one spot before me. That's unfortunate. So what I'm gonna do is here's what I think's gonna happen. This guy is gonna have himself a hell of a comeback year because his quarterback's going to improve. I don't know if he's going to massively improve, but he's going to improve. The team is going to be better. They might not be great, but they're going to be better. And this guy is going to establish himself as one of the best wide receivers in the league once again. DJ Moore.
Oh, DJ Moore.
Now that I got the comeback, here's where I get to fuck up the entire board, people. Two wide receivers, you know. I told you it's wide receiver heavy, which means I'm going to be getting some good trade offers at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and take me another starter that his season is going to be interesting. Okay, there's a lot riding on it because it's year two,
Pause.
and he's got a good quarterback, we think, and we're hoping that both of them can make the leap this year. So I'm going to go ahead and take Marvin Harrison Jr.
All right.
Not a bad pick.
MHJ. I mean, this is probably going to look like a lot of home leagues, except I think the quarterbacks are going a little earlier in this particular mock draft for whatever reason. Typically, you'll probably see Lamar and Josh Allen in round 3 versus round 2. I mean, T. Higgins coming all the way down here at that 3 turn is a little crazy.
I was gonna take him, but I preferred Marvin. I wanted 3 ones.
Okay. I mean, I already have my 2 that I feel like are just dogs, set and forget. And I got Genty, I got Bucky. They're going to pretty much keep the pace for the rest of the year. I don't have to until the bye week happens. I don't have to worry about sitting them. So in that case, it's like you would look at some other wide receivers and do a couple of other things, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and take another rookie running back that I think is going to have a phenomenal year. That's Omarion Hampton. I think him and Genty right now are going to be battling for rookie of the year. So why not have them both on the same team? I'm taking 3 running backs early. I'm going running back heavy.
All right, so since we're doing the onesie method, I gotta take the Super Bowl champion.
Oh, we got
And then if we're
Hurts.
doing the onesie, like I said, we're gonna take me another good player, George Kittle.
That's a good onesie strategy. I mean, for onesies, right? You're typically going to go early on quarterbacks. You're going to go early on tight ends. Those are those onesie positions, right? And if you have the top 4 guys in the league, you've done it right. The problem is if you shoot and you miss on them finishing top 4 or 5, you may not have the best build later on in life as the season goes on. So for me, I'm going running back heavy, but for whatever reason, I know this quarterback run is about to start, and I think we missed on a guy that's going to finish the season with a top 3 quarterback season, and I'm getting him right now as a quarterback 4 off the board. I'm going Jaden Daniels, JD5, baby.
All right, so this is pretty easy for me. I got 3 ones at wide receiver now. That means I've got plenty of trade ammo if need be. So now I need to start filling out the roster a little bit, right? And like I said, I'm a fan of ones. All right, that's why I skipped on T. That's why I'm skipping on Wild. I like number one. So I'm gonna. This is a little toughy. What I'm about to
Mm-hmm.
do as
Huh,
my starting running back, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And it's gonna be James Conner.
not a
Oh,
bad pick.
not a bad pick at all. He's a consistent, right?
And
Over
then
the last few seasons,
unfortunately,
he's one of the most consistent running backs in the NFL.
and this is what happens in fantasy leagues. You get sniped. I was going to take Travion Henderson because I was going to actually interject with DJ and say he's going to be the one who's going to be running for Offensive Rookie of the Year over both
Ooh.
Gypsy and Hampton. I've seen what he's done in the preseason. He's got that speed that is a difference maker, just like Gibbs does. So I'm going to go ahead and get me another running back because, again, sticking with the ones, I'm going to go ahead and take a little swing at Aaron Jones.
No,
Oh,
not
old
a
man
bad pick.
Jones. I
James on
like it.
Jones crime.
I like it. Well, I'm back on the clock and I have a lot of good opportunity in front of me. I'm going to take a guy that I think is just phenomenal. I think he's going to have a great year. And unlike Jones, whether you're a 1 or whether you're a 2, I care about production. And that's going to be my guy, Smitty, Devontae Smith. Welcome to the team, big dog.
And Worthy got taken. I was
All
aiming
right,
at
so
him
basically, I
next.
already got the meat and potatoes for the team. So at this point, I'm just drafting who I like.
It's
So I'm
rainbow
picking.
right there. You got a
Yeah.
rainbow of colors, brother. You got a
Oh
blue, green,
man,
orange, and
J
red. J-Mo.
and then fuck it, why not? We're gonna nah. No, I have faith.
Oh, that's a risky, but I like the upside of the Pacheco pick. I do like that upside. Um, I mean, right now, I don't want to draft another rookie. Travis Hunter would have been a very good pick if I didn't already have 2 rookies on the squad leading the team. I got a very young team, and the point of the young team is you need people that's going to last you throughout the season. And that's why I got the guys that I got. So now I can take some of those risks. I can take some of those upside swings. I can go wherever I need to go because I have my young guys that's going to be healthy no matter what. So I am going to take an upside swing right here. And I think Tyreek Hill ends up getting traded, which makes Jalen Waddle the number one wide receiver in that backfield. But I'm going to take Travis Hunter. It's just too much. It's just too much. I gotta take Travis Hunter there, right? There's too much volume going around Jacksonville. They're going to be throwing the ball all day long. Travis Hunter is going to be my guy. I'm doing an all rookie build here. I might as well.
All right, people. So
Yes,
as it looks,
sir.
the tight end pool is pretty much drained at this point, so I'm not worried about that. Quarterbacks, a lot of the good ones have been taken. I'm not worried about that. So what am I worried about here? Again, we want to beef up the trade ammunition. So I got two number ones. I got five number ones. I'm not done yet. This guy, he's a number one by default because the teams just got injuries everywhere. I think
Mhm.
he's gonna have himself a little bit of a breakout season. Nothing crazy, but enough to be a solid flex every now and then, and that's Ricky Pearsall. Now we
Okay,
bring it
okay.
back. Okay, I'm still not done. All right. Again, we're keeping with the ones. I got James. I got Jones. Those are two good number one running backs. They are. They get rushing touchdowns galore. Aaron Jones gets passing touchdowns galore. This is what you want. So now I'm going to give me another number one whom last year showed he can carry the load. Pause. That boy's name is Tyrone Tracy.
No scatterboo scares.
No, not at all.
Okay. Hey
Thermnation
man, I
team.
like it. I'm
Nah,
going
I
I'm
feel
going to
you.
go with another wide receiver. And I promised I wasn't going to take another rookie, so I'm going to end up taking somebody that I think is going to actually lead their offense this year. And it's not going to be the guy that just requested a trade. It's going to be the guy that just got Ben Johnson and working out that slot. I'm taking Rome Dunze, baby. Bring him home,
Nice.
Rome. Bring him home.
So now, just picking who we think might have a good season. And I feel like some redemption might be happening. He might miss a couple games, but I think redemption, Stephon Diggs.
That's a good pick. Young wide receiver. I mean, a young
And
quarterback. I like that.
same thing, redemption, Cooper Cup.
Oh, that's risky. That's risky.
I like
Especially
that.
because you're leaving out somebody that I think is going to be very good this year. I'm willing to take the weight just because I seen it happen, but I like this Matthew Golden kid, man. I'm taking all the rooks. Just give me all the rooks this year. It's fine. I like Matthew Golden, number one wide
Okay.
receiver for Green Bay. I mean, what you got to do? I got my depth at running back. I got a quarterback. I got four wide receivers that are going to be primary targets in their offenses.
My hand is a little bit forced here, so I am now going to the tight end. Okay. So again, I want to stick with my number one philosophy here, and this guy, I think he's going to. Uh, it's a contract year for him, and every time it's a contract year for a skill position player, they go off. He maybe has a good quarterback that he hasn't had since his rookie year. We're going to find out, and that is Kyle Pitts.
Oh,
It's not a bad pick.
everybody wants the upside of Kyle Peasy.
Now then, coming back to the wide receivers, not done. This guy is a great wide receiver. He really is. And he would be so much higher up on the list if his QB play was not god awful. You know what? Because I just thought about the QB play, I'm not picking him. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm not picking him. So instead, wide receiver. Ooh, this is a good one. Got traded there. He had some good years where he had some good years everywhere actually between the two teams he was on before, and he's going to be the number two target because the number two target is still going to be hurt to start the season. I'm going to go ahead and take Christian Kirk.
There's a lot of volume in that Houston offense. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. All right. So, I mean, this is the part where the draft starts to get nasty, right? You got some guys that you like, you got some guys that you love, you got a couple of people that I think are just solid picks overall. I am taking a swing at somebody that I think is going to be a good depth piece, but by the time the playoffs come and I need that person, I think they're going to be right there for me. You would think it's Chris Godwin, but it's Zach Charbonnet. I don't see Kenneth Walker surviving the whole season. And for that reason, Zach Charbonnet by playoffs is going to be the lead back in Seattle. Book it.
I agree.
All right, basically, I just need some running backs. So, like DJ says, nasty workout here, but Bigsby, come on in.
Oh, lead back in Jacksonville, possibly. We'll see
And
where
he's
Etienne ends
only
up going if he gets
undrafted
traded.
him high at this point because he will be starting at least 4 to 6 games. We're going to Chubb.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
he
You
took
got
Chubb. Ah,
you
you
got
little
got a
son of
lot
a.
of
Yeah,
touchdowns on that roster right
I know,
now.
Chris. I know, Chris.
You
Son
got a
of
lot of
a. That
touchdowns on
was
that
right at
roster.
him, bro. That
I,
sucks.
I like where a lot of this draft is going, right? And because it plays into my philosophy, I am by trade a tight end streamer. You typically won't catch me taking the tight end until late in the draft. Luckily, I'm doing a running back heavy build, so I got my four dogs, my four workhorses, and I got some good wide receivers, but they need a little bit of experience. I got a couple of guys that I like, but right now, I mean, the guy is back in Los Angeles. Like, I feel like I should take Keenan at this point just because he has out of the wide receivers left. I'm not touching a Colt player with Daniel Jones at quarterback. I just think that's way too risky. So,
That's
as
a tough
much as
one.
I love Pittman and Josh Downs and
And Mitchell. Mitchell, nice.
Mitchell's still the fourth string, like they still put Alec Pierce over him sometimes. But
That sounds like a good
irregardless,
package.
It is nice.
with Daniel Jones throwing the ball, I just don't foresee a lot of them getting that many targets. I think you got to follow your board here. I think I got a lot of rookies, and I need an old man. I needed some steady production in that wide receiver room. So give me Keenan Allen. It's old, it's nasty, but I think he's going to be the touchdown red zone guy for the Los Angeles Chargers after Lad McConkey gets him all the way down the field.
All right, people. So I've got one, two, three, four, five wide receivers. I think we're pretty good at that. Give us some good trade ammo later on in the season. We've got two good running backs that don't really miss a lot of time between Aaron Jones and James Conner. Generally, they play all 17, and if not all 17, Aaron might give you at least 13. And then Tyrone Tracy's a young buck. He played all 17 last year. I think those are three solid backs that you can work with, that you can flex in and out. So we're gonna go ahead and get our quarterback now. And this is the guy that I did not understand the projections on him at the end of the season. Everyone said he had a slump. And I'm like, are we just ignoring his terrible offensive line? So I'm gonna go ahead and take
Must
CJ
be.
Stroud because he dominated when he needed to. He made the playoffs, he won his division, and then won a playoff game decisively. So I don't understand how we can sit here and say he had a slump when he made the playoffs and won a playoff game. That's not a slump to me. A slump is 3-14, top five pick. That's a slump. Not making the playoffs and winning a playoff game. That's not a slump.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on the money there. I think a lot of it is pending on that Nico Collins health, right? Because right now, let's just like if we just cover our eyes at the depth chart and let's say you just put your hands over Nico Collins, the Texans are pretty much Christian Kirk and some rookies.
Sure. And real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out my next guy. I don't expect too much. I don't know if he'll follow up his breakout year. I'm sorry, breakout year with another okay year, but we'll see. And maybe he'll be trade bait. That's gonna be Rashad Bateman.
Oh, good pick. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is there now. I don't know if that changes anything
Hmm.
for him, but if it's me, I think knowing your league mates is important. And this is something that I'm going to share with y'all to be able to win your drafts. And I'm looking at this board right now, and I know my league mates. I know who I'm drafting with. I know who Big Therm is going to take, and I know who Brady is going to take. So this is me getting in front of Kazushi and taking a player that is an obvious need of mine, even though I just told y'all my philosophy. But since I went onesie early with Jaden Daniels, I think I've let the slide happen long enough. It's time to take my starting tight end. I'm going Jake Ferguson before I can be robbed of a tight end too by
Oh,
Kazushi.
well, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, semi-delusional because that was not my thinking. I'm going Kittle,
Oh,
baby.
you don't want no Kittle insurance? You don't want Kittle insurance?
And then,
I
okay,
think he
I'll
wants
stream
Kittle
at that point.
insurance.
I'll stream at that point because
Hey,
I'm going
man.
defense.
I like it early. I like taking it. I like what you're doing right there. I do think that you have missed something very important and very vital. And again, this is a running back heavy build. Why? Because you can flip them boys later. And I'm going to take Bill, 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 Bill. Give me Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, the
Oh,
potential starting running back of your Washington Commanders.
I
He
didn't know
must
who
have
you were
took his
talking. You
pick
just
again.
kept saying Bill, Bill.
Because
Who's
his name is,
Bill?
he
Bill.
goes by Bill. He doesn't like
I
Ja'Cory. He goes by
right.
Bill.
I'm hip. It's just you're
People
confusing me.
forget Bill exists, man. I'm just saying.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are at the part of the point of the draft where everything is awful.
Dart
Running
throws.
back. This is why we took the three number ones that we did at running back. So now we get some backups. And again, we have fair ammo at wide receiver. Let's try to get some ammo at running back. Maybe it'll work for something. I don't know if this guy will get much play because there is a a paid running back in front of him whom the
Mhm.
team clearly likes. But I'm gonna try it anyway, and that's gonna be Rico Dowdle.
That's not a bad pick. I thought you were honestly going to go with the Trey Benson pick to get insurance on James Conner. Whether it's a split or whether James Conner finally gets injured, that would have been something that did you consider?
Nope.
You gotta stack these guys, man. Sometimes it pays to stack your dart throws, right? Like if you're putting a fourth round pick in James Conner, you're unsure of him. A Trey Benson in the 13th round, that might not have been a bad pick for
So, and
now.
I'm here's what I'm gonna also do. I do need another backup because Kyle Pitts is a gamble. We all know it's a gamble. We don't know what he's gonna give us.
Yep.
So we got three more picks or two more picks after this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a nice little number one insurance backup, and that's Isaiah Likely. Hurt right now,
Mm.
but he'll be back later.
It's about
Actually, the
those
problem is the
playoffs.
hurt, but it's
It's
okay.
about the playoffs. When the playoffs start, that's when you really need them. Don't that's your bench is here to help you win championships, right? So I like that. I like that pick a lot. I think this next pick is pretty much going to be something that I think I can fill out now. We saw a couple of defenses go. When everybody zigs, I'm going to zag. So we only have
What
the
they
kicker
zag.
I want is still on the board. We got a couple of defenses that I still like. I mean,
Ooh.
you can kind of go with a couple of different areas, really.
Ladies and
But
gentlemen, if you're looking for a kicker, look for a two-time Super Bowl champion.
I'm just saying, I think the defense that I want is still here.
Sorry, first.
So I'm going to take the defense that I know is going to cook this year, and that's going to be your Baltimore Ravens. Your Baltimore, they're in a division with Joe Flacco starting and potentially Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph and them. Like you just gotta watch out for the two Joe Burrow games. After
I
that,
will
the Ravens defense is
exactly.
coasting.
I was gonna say the two Joe Burrow games. You will need a flex defense because he cooks them every year.
You just,
And
you just
even
you
in,
take that as the L that year, that
and
week. Just take
I'm
that as
gonna
the
tell
L.
you the truth. One of the two Pittsburgh games you'll need a new defense for as well.
Take it to
Depends
the
on if
bank
Aaron
like that.
Rodgers is still playing.
But then again, you know what? Actually, I take that back because even though I do believe Pittsburgh and the Ravens
I'm
will split this
going.
year, it's not going to be a high scoring game. So you can keep the Ravens defense in.
Yeah, I
Take that
like
other
it.
depth piece.
I like Ford.
Yep.
Is he the
Uh,
starter? Is it Sampson? Is it Judkins? That's going to be the
No
roll of the
one knows.
dice.
like
That's going to be the roll of the dice.
why not?
like
Since it's
the
a late
Browns
pick,
are just the
it's easy.
Browns, man. They can got it.
Oh,
Okay.
by the way, those two Steelers games for the Ravens, one is in December, one's in January. So they're the last 5 games of the season.
Yeah, that's
So
just like us for
I
Washington.
I
We played them
definitely
week.
don't think Rodgers is still going to be there by then.
We played them week 16, and then we played them week
Uh,
18.
that's all I'm going to say. So for here, there's a lot of just some depth pieces here. Bashaw Tootin, right? If you like Jacksonville's like scat back, you can throw something at him. Adam Thielen may be there. I think I'm just going to go with the guy that I've just seen kill in the preseason. He's the starting wide receiver just asked for a trade. I mean, Deontay Thornton, he's right here. They just signed old man Amari Cooper. Deontay Thornton's been the running with the ones down in Vegas. Jacoby Myers looks like he's out of there. So I'm going to take Deontay Thornton as free to be able to be, the number one wide receiver in Las Vegas for Geno Smith.
Sorry, ladies
Solid
and
pick.
gentlemen, I'm down to my last 2 picks, which means I'm only going one of 2 options. That's kicker defense. And everyone chose their defense, so I'm going to actually go ahead and take a kicker first because it makes more sense as the best ones are still there. So I made a joke about the 2-time Super Bowl champ, and to be honest with you, I don't know if I draft him. His name's Jake Elliott. The reason why is because he can be pretty consistent if we're kicking some 50 yarders. I'll be honest with you, Philly doesn't kick a lot of 50 yarders, but when it's under 50, that's when it gets iffy with Jake, especially them 40 yarders. He 40
Especially
to
And
end of the
50.
season. Head
Yeah,
ass.
40 to 50 just seems to make him shaky for some reason. And that's supposed to be a sweet spot. So I wouldn't take Jake Elliott unless you have no other choice. Don't get me wrong, he's not a terrible kicker. He's just not the best. So I'm gonna go with who I think will have a better season than he did last year and rebound. I'm gonna go with Young Wei Koo.
I
And
mean,
then
you
to
had to
close
do
out
that,
my
by the way,
draft.
just because team one that's in front of you, they didn't have a kicker. So definitely we're taking a kicker if you didn't. So yeah.
Of course. And I didn't want McPherson because last year I had McPherson and he had a spell of like it was like a 3 game stretch where he either barely kicked or missed a bunch. And it was bad. Like he was getting me 3 points a game for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I just
Garbage.
no. Exactly. So like I didn't want McPherson again. No thanks. So for my defense, since a lot of the good ones have already taken, I'm kind of probably streaming defenses for this team. Um, so I'm gonna go with a good one. I'm gonna go with the Texans defense for the time being. But again, I'm streaming, so we'll see who they play
That's
week
not a
in, week
bad
out.
pick because I think that's a good defense.
It is a good defense, but week in, week out, it depends on who they play. So
For
Well,
most teams.
here I am. I'm going to give you guys some advice that's going to clear out your leagues. Granted, I'm at the end of this draft. I didn't take a onesie, right? I didn't take a kicker early. I got the defense I wanted. There's only 4 picks left. And as far as the kicker goes, at this point, I'd rather stream them. And because I rather stream them, I want to grab maybe a high upside pick, somebody that's going to be playing early on that first Sunday. So in case I need to drop them, I can. But I want to get somebody that I think is just going to just help my team. Right now, I'm weak at one position because I'm already streaming it. I got Jake Ferguson for the Dallas Cowboys at tight end. I'm going to double up here with Darren frickin' Waller coming out of retirement for the Miami Dolphins. In this build, you are going to drop one person at the end of week one for that kicker to fill in that spot if you're losing. If not, it's a free roster spot because guess what? We're streaming kickers anyway, baby. That's the point of this build. It's all upside, right? So, B, I'll let you have the last pick. Don't think we slid past that Dallas Goedert pick because, I mean, my man, like, you know Jalen don't really like Dallas G like
Man,
that.
this
Like,
is
you know
a
that.
late round. It's pretty much a free pick. So I was, you know,
I feel it.
I'm
All right,
loyal to my
how
team.
we
I'm not
ending
gonna leave
this?
them hanging.
How are we ending this onesie build? You went early on all the onesie positions, the defense, the kicker, the tight end, the quarterback. How are you feeling about that? And how are we going to end this draft? What depth piece are you looking for?
Well, since I got five running backs and only got four receivers, I think it's only right to have five wide receivers.
Oh, old man Thielen is in the building. We see him. Potential Vikings wide receiver. We saw them trying to make a deal. We'll see if he stays in Carolina or ends up in Minnesota, at least back to somewhere he's familiar. But this is pretty much the build. So if we just to recap what we were doing, we got Big Therm at the 2 slot. Big Therm was going wide receiver heavy. It was something that he wanted to do. Maybe you're in a PPR league and you need to figure out how we're going to get some points per reception. That's a good wide receiver build to focus on, right? He didn't completely ignore running back, but he made sure he got 3 number 1s. That's important. We got B at the 12 turn. He just went star power early, but he also took his onesies early. You got a potential top 5 quarterback, top 5 tight end, top 5 kicker, top 5 defense. And then you fill that in with depth pieces and you got a good build, right? And then for me, I mean, I was sitting at that pick slot 9. I wanted to go running backs early. I got a onesie in Jaden Daniels, who I think could be an MVP candidate this year if the Commanders actually do something, because he's going to have the weakest supporting cast out of all the top quarterbacks. So if he gets them to be respectable, then I think that you have to consider that man for MVP. So that's what I'm looking at right there with this build. I picked a lot of rookies, a lot of sophomores, a lot of younger guys. But what I try to focus on is people that are actually going to get the ball in their offenses. So a lot of the guys that I chose are going to be bell cows, right? I want high usage because at the end of the season, the best teams are going to start sitting players. The sorry teams that are trying to make the playoffs, those mid tier teams, those typically have the guys going off at the end of the season. So I know for a fact my build is not going to be out of the gate undefeated team. I'll be that 9-win team nobody wants to play in the playoffs though. How do you guys feel about your rosters? B, Chris, I'll throw it to
I
you
like
guys.
my roster pretty. I like feel like I got potential top five players at a lot of positions, especially at least I feel like I have a top five in Puka, top five with Jacobs potentially, top five with Jalen potentially, and George Kittle potentially. So I like that a lot for my team. And also, you want to include Brandon Aubrey, who's arguably the best kicker in the league, and on top of the Broncos defense. I feel like top heavy wise, I feel like they can carry me.
All right. Jones, how we feeling about that 2 slot? Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, you set them up, knock them down. I like what you're doing here. How do you feel about that roster?
So I like it. So I was thinking of trade ammo, and I'm thinking like looking at it. I feel like I could offer someone a Ricky Pearsall and a Tyrone Tracy for say a Kyron Williams. I don't feel like that's a bad trade, and I feel like that gets me another surefire back that's a little bit better than Tracy. And I'd still keep my core 3 wide receivers of Jamar, DJ, and Marvin, while still giving someone a high upside receiver in Pearsall because, especially at the beginning of the season, he's their only target essentially outside of Kittle. Um, and we'll see how the season goes towards the end because last year he got better at the end of the year. So hopefully he, translates that. And I think, yeah, absolutely solid. I think I have some very good trade targets, and I could easily upgrade the team in certain spots if need be.
Okay. I mean, I like it. I am going to give you a little shit just because here on this podcast, we did talk extensively about Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Lad McConkey. You had Lad McConkey in your crosshairs and you went MHJ. Walk me through that decision over a Lad McConkey.
Oh, simple. I don't think the Chargers are going to be that good this year. They lost their very good, very strong stalwart right tackle in Rashawn Slater. That's a massive loss, a huge loss. And I don't know if Herbert is going to be able to give McConkey. I don't
McConkey.
know if he'll be able to
That
give
man got
him,
hairball.
a th- I don't know if we get him 1,000 yard season, 10 touchdowns type year because that loss is it's a massive loss, real talk. Because now you have to shuffle your line. Are you about to kick all out to the right tackle spot? If so, who's taking the left tackle spot now? Are you kicking a guard out the left tackle? Like it's just when you start shuffling your offensive line, you've lost the season. That is just that simple.
I mean, I I like the reasoning behind it. Joe Alt was a top pick taken. He was slated to be the right tackle this year to take over for Slater, who moved to the left side. Now he's going to be a left tackle where he naturally was in college anyway. So
Right.
now they have to find a new right tackle essentially.
Exactly.
Yep.
In a dire moment, you know what I mean? That's
Right
that's
before the season
that's
starts.
literally it.
Draft
Yeah,
has happened, free agency's happened. You're bargain
right.
shopping at this point.
Right, and it's at a critical. If it was a guard, I'd be like, well, you can kind of replace a guard, but a tackle, that's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough.
that's hard to do. It's hard to patchwork up. But
Yep.
I mean that's the draft, right? So that's the draft. That's where we how we think we can help you with these rosters, what we can end up doing to show you a little bit about how we're going there. I will hold on, let me reshare my screen real quick just to kind of show what I'm thinking of my team. I didn't give the analysis there.
I'll be
So
honest with you. Can real quick. I thought you were going to get on me for not taking Worthy. I wanted Worthy. I legitimately did. It's just
well, after you
because
took
I
three, I didn't think that was coming.
I could have taken him in the third. It would have been a quote unquote reach based off of ADP. But I have such a high upside on Worthy this year. I do.
Yeah, I mean, but granted, Worthy to me a reach to go in the third. That's a big reach.
That's a reach
If you were going
For
to pick him in
sure.
the fourth, but just based on how the draft fell, like
Yeah,
after
fourth
you
is
took
what I was
three,
looking at.
if your third pick was a running back, like let's say you took Kyron Williams instead of Marvin, or Chase Brown instead of Marvin, or even Omarion Hampton, Brees Hall, or James Cook, if you took any of them before
Yep.
Marvin, then I would have fully expected an Xavier Worthy or Rashi Rice if Worthy got taken early at that four
Yes.
slot.
Yes, you're correct. It is 100% how the board. It is because I did take Marvin with the number 3, so that kind of forced my hand on a running back situation.
Yeah,
Otherwise, my number 1 running back would have likely have been either a number 2 or a borderline number 1 like Tony Pollard, who I was looking at because I know Ty J ain't playing the first 4 games, but that's 4 games.
correct,
You know what I mean?
correct.
So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, fantasy season is long, man.
yeah,
I think we play in a home league ourselves where a lot of the winners in the league are not usually the top record in the league. It's who gets hot in those last like couple of weeks right before the playoffs. We
yep
have
every
a
time.
lot of 7, 8 win teams that end up just getting unstoppably hot right before the fantasy playoffs, and then they carry that momentum. So to me, I think that part is important as well. That's why I make some of the picks that I did. Like I'm looking at my own build, and this is newer for me. Just you guys knowing me, I typically don't have too many rookies outside of some onesie positions because I think rookies at onesies have a lot more value. So typically I'll take a rookie at quarterback or a rookie at tight end. Lately, my quarterbacks, you guys just let Kyler Murray fall to me every year, and I end up taking him because I just can't resist. But um, this year I went with Jaden Daniels early. Like I could have taken a wide receiver 1 at that position. Garrett Wilson was still on the board. DK, Sutton, Ridley,
they
all
did
these
too.
guys,
Yeah,
Devontae.
I was really surprised.
But I think to me, if you're going to go with a build where I'm overloading positions, like I'm trying to overwhelm you at running back position, right? I got Genty, I got Irving, I got Hampton. All three of those guys should be lion share workhorses in their backfields. None of them have quote unquote committees because their second backs are all hurt. You got Mostert in Vegas. You got Rashad White, who's hurt already in Tampa, and you got Najee Harris, who we don't even know if he has 2 eyeballs right now. Right. So like that's what you're dealing with. So all 3 of those guys, I think, are just going to get the lion's share of everything. And then Jaden Daniels is just, I like a running mobile quarterback. There's a lot of value to taking a quarterback late this year, but when you have a onesie that's that important, I think Jaden Daniels has top 3 potential. You take him. And then you guys are the resident Eagles fans, so this was one of the picks that I feel like he's technically a wide receiver 2, but Smitty can produce as a wide receiver 1 to me. So I like Devontae Smith out of Philly. AJ Brown is always going to be a dog, and I don't want to say he lost a step last year. He was hurt, and I had AJ Brown last year in multiple leagues, and he let me down. But
no, so can I speak on that real quick?
Just to close it out, I just think Smitty provides AJ Brown like production 2 rounds later. He's not AJ Brown, but there's a quietness to his 1,000-yard season and 5 touchdowns that could be more that I think is undervalued massively. So, but yeah, you can go on about AJ.
So real quick, no, it's both of them really. So both of their production obviously relies on how our new offensive coordinator wants to go. Is it going to be 2022 where we line up, we start the game, we run the ball, we see what defense are you playing? Are you loading up the box to stop Saquon in our run game? Or are you putting extra defensive backs out there to stop AJ and Smitty in the pass game? So if it's 2022, either wide receiver is worth drafting because they're going to both go for 1,000 plus. If it's what we just got last year, 2024, where it was our run game is so good that even if you are loading the box, it doesn't really matter, then Smitty's floor is 800. And as far as AJ goes last year, I know you said he let you down, and absolutely, as far as fantasy goes, he wasn't hurt. He got hurt early in the year. He did. He missed two games, Brady, or was it 3? It was right before the bye. He missed the Bucks game. He missed the Saints game, I believe.
Go Bucks.
And that might be it. He played Green Bay. That was week 1.
He missed
and
3.
He played in it. You think it was 3?
I think it was 3.
So then he must have missed the Atlanta game as well. Okay, so.
But that's just games missed, right?
No,
I still feel like if AJ's not 100%,
but that's what. Hear me out. That's why I'm coming back to the production part of it. That's just the games missed. Exactly. After the bye week, our philosophy changed, and that's when we stopped passing the ball as much, right? And that's obviously going to affect the wide receivers because they have no other way to get the ball. So AJ, this is why I'm saying.
And you went through a tear where you didn't need to pass the ball for the most part.
Correct. And this is why I'm saying he let you down.
After that bye week, y'all were cooking.
But as far as him as a player goes, he was still one of the top 3 wide receivers in the NFL. And why I say that, with his limited catches or his limited targets, he led the league in yards per reception. Not because he was catching bombs all day. Well, it was a little bit of that, but also him just taking stuff to the house. He would catch a pass from 10 yards out and just go for 50. So AJ
he had a lot of yak. He's still a dog. Don't get me wrong. I think AJ Brown is still one of the best wide receivers in the league and a top 5 guy. Period. You're not going to unconvince me of that. My thing is, and I think this is kind of my thought process with even picking my team. If you look at the wide receivers I pick, a lot of them are underneath guys or slot guys. And I did that on purpose because last year we saw a theme of too high safety. What does too high safety limit? That's going to limit bombs. That's going to limit your Tyreek Hills, your guys that are just these long ball, Hail Mary type of guys. So if that trend continues from a defensive perspective, the underneath is eating. So it makes a lot of sense to at least round out your roster. But for me, I was like, well, I got guys that can line up one-on-one and you can't cover them. Just period. You're not going to cover them because that's why I think is going to eat this year instead of your And I thought about Jalen Waddles and stuff. Instead of your Jalen Waddles, where it's like, or DK Metcalf is a perfect example. I got 3 routes. I'm running a fly, a post, or a hitch, right? Those guys I think are going to be severely limited this coming year just because the defenses are changed. They're too high safety. They're saying, okay, we'll live with the boring stuff. Death by 1,000 cuts. You got to beat us underneath. We're not letting you get over top.
Yep, that's true.
So I think Travis Hunter, Devontae, Rome, Golden, Keenan Allen, like all of those guys are going to be close to the quarterback and in the slot. And then I got a dart throw with Deontay and Waller late. I mean, I'm happy with this, and I think Zach Charbonnet is probably going to be the playoff running back of the century, like for fantasy playoffs. Like by week 10, Zach Charbonnet is probably going to be the starter, even if Kenneth Walker is hurt.
I agree.
I mean, even if he's not hurt, I'm sorry. Even if Kenneth Walker is not hurt, I feel like Zach Charbonnet is still going to carve out enough of a role, almost like the Austin Eckler, like in Washington, where it's like you can't totally have him go away because he's still going to come in and cook randomly in the end of the year. That's what I think.
I think 2 running backs that are going to be drafted, and I'm not telling you to avoid them at all. I'm not. But 2 running backs that I think we're about to see their last time being the top dog, like the guy, Kevin Walker and Brees Hall. I think this is it for them. I think this is their last year to prove it, and I think both of them are going to unfortunately come up short.
Hey man, that's not a bad dart throw. Consensus say it's 50-50, right? They're both in contract years. They're both with basically new. I mean, Kenneth Walker's technically not in a new regime, but like he's in a make or break situation where it's like, yo, you got to figure this out. And I'm not the coach that drafted you. So I think Brees Hall, I think Kenneth Walker, history says one of them is going to make it, one of them is not. I tend to think Kenneth Walker not being healthy the last 2 years is probably going to be the one to not make it, even though he has all the skill in the world. Both of these guys are mad talented. It's just circumstances. I like Kenneth Walker since he was at Michigan State. Love Brees Hall. I think he was at Iowa State, Cyclone or something like that. I like the talent. I just don't like their situations, and both of them probably need a change of pace, to be honest. But that's it for this mock draft episode. I hope you looked at these different rosters and this different way it shakes out. The key things we'll leave you with, obviously, is know who your league is drafting with. And as always, do your mock drafts in the same platform your league is doing the draft of. Why? The rankings always freaking change. You're going to need to know those new rankings, when they occur, how they occur, and how that board is going to shake out to you. As always, with love, we signing off.
Fly, Eagles, fly.